I was lying on the beach and tears were just streaming down my face because as soon as he said this to me, I realized how scared I was. And this is a story that really stands out in my mind, and it happened about 23 years ago. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Stacy Portugal, and I'm a weight loss coach. I help over 40 women gain control of their cravings, lose the weight, and age with confidence. And today I want to tell you a story about a time in my life when I felt too scared to make a change. I was about 6 months post-pregnancy. So my son, my middle one, was about 6 months old. And I always gained a ton of weight with pregnancy. And it was 6 months later, and we took the kids and we were vacationing and we had them on the beach. And I remember my husband was kind of next to me. And I'm not sure why he took that moment to say what he said to me, but I believe it's because it was not about what I looked like, and my husband never passed judgment. I believe he just noticed that I was unhappy and I was conflicted and I was dissatisfied and frustrated with the way I looked. And so we were laying there on the beach, and it wasn't what he said to me that made me cry. He was really just suggesting just kind of a quick, easy way to lose weight, basically, is what he was doing. And again, it was not from a mean or judgmental place. He was telling me what he thought I wanted to hear at the time. And I'll never forget, as soon as he said that, I started crying, tears down the face, and I was just so upset. And I wasn't upset at him. I just realized in that moment that I was scared and sort of dreading any sort of diet plan. Like, here I go again. I got to lose weight again. And granted, I was pregnant, but the weight was becoming stubborn. It was a good 6 months later. I actually had someone, believe it or not, with a different pregnancy comment when my baby, my newborn baby, was in a carrier in the grocery store. My stomach was still so big. Someone commented and asked me how I did that. True story. Scary, but true. People say the darndest things. But in this case, the story always stood out to me. The dread of having to go on another diet plan. Would I be hungry? Oh my gosh, would it be hard? I knew I was kind of dependent on food to sort of soothe the stress, the not sleeping, taking care of 2 young kids. It was hard. And I really felt it. And I just couldn't stomach yet another diet plan and another energy. It just took too much energy for me. And so I think many of us, whether it's a pregnancy thing or not, sometimes just the idea of having to start a diet plan can be really daunting. And you get frustrated because in some cases you're gaining and losing the same weight, and that's what I like to call the diet merry-go-round. And you just don't feel as though you're getting anywhere. And so the idea of starting something new can be very frustrating. So I wanted to share this story with you because Shake the Sugar, of course, is launching April 1st. And I wanted to sort of explain why I feel that Shake the Sugar is a different sort of diet plan. So I wanted to start with the level of support, which I think is a huge, huge strength of this program. Not only do we have group support through the group calls and through our Facebook page, which I monitor almost 24/7, not 24, I'll say 12/7. That would be more realistic. But I am up during the night sometimes. Anyway, I am monitoring that. I'm also on the calls each and every week, and there's plenty of time for people to ask questions and get the help that they need and the support that they need. And I have to say, if you're a Shake the Sugar person and you're on right now, give me a like, because the girls, I'll do a shout out to the girls in Shake the Sugar and how supportive they are of each other. It's made me so proud how much love we show each other and how we're really there for, if someone goes on in the private Facebook group and they're having an issue with something, it's not just me that's answering, it's everybody is putting in their brilliance, and it's just so lovely and it's so supportive. So that's one way in which I feel that Shake the Sugar can really help someone, especially those who are sort of dreading another diet plan. The other way is I really get to the heart of things, and I think many of my clients will agree with this, that we're not just counting calories or anything else. We are pulling back the layers, talking about our lifestyles, talking about our behaviors, our habits, our mindsets. We are talking about the amount of food that we're eating, but we're doing a better job of sort of digging underneath there and saying, well, wait a second, are my meals more balanced? Am I getting enough protein? Am I eating too many carbs? Am I getting enough fat or too little fat? So then it's not just like, we don't talk like we're scientists. I especially really help everyone understand and apply macronutrients to their own life. In fact, one of my clients on the call on Sunday was saying to me, before Shake the Sugar, I would have just made a choice and thought that it was the right choice. But now that I understand food and how it affects my body, I'm making different choices. And it's easier to travel, and it's easier to go to restaurants. And I do think that some people in Shake the Sugar need a little bit longer and they lean into it a little bit further. In other words, they may have started counting macronutrients, or they might be aware of what the macronutrients are. And so once they hear it and they start learning about it, it's very easy for them to apply. Some people in Shake the Sugar know it on a more sort of shallow level, and they just kind of allow me to help them put together meals. And for them, even just reducing some of the sugar in the wheat in their diet has made a big difference. So I would say that everyone is at kind of a different place. The one thing everyone has in common is that they are really supportive and they're all aware. Everybody is aware and everybody is doing their best. Nobody is perfect, including me, and that's okay. We are all putting in our best foot forward, and we are brainstorming each and every week. And so when I really think back on this story, it makes me realize and understand how it can be very overwhelming when you know you have to lose weight, especially if you are already a chronic dieter, like a serial dieter, which I was for sure. And I think that was part of my exhaustion that I was feeling on the beach, and my frustration and my fear and my sadness was just the fact that I was tired. I was tired of dieting, and I couldn't believe I had to do it again. I kept hoping that because I had given birth that the weight would just come off, and I was breastfeeding. I was just hoping it would come off by itself, but of course, with my body, it wouldn't, and that's why I do what I do. So anyway, I'm sure everyone can relate to that dread that you feel when you know you've got to lose some weight. It does take a little bit of hard work. It does take a little bit of commitment. But it's not as scary as you think, especially when you have someone, or in this case, many people who are holding your hand and supporting you. As you guys probably know, Shake the Sugar launches April 1st, and our spring pricing is ending this week. So if you want to learn more, you can message me on Facebook. I'll put the link also that you can just click through and learn more about Shake the Sugar. So as always, our community begins in the comments. So I really want to hear what you think. Was this interesting to you? Do you relate to sort of dreading that time when you have to lose weight? Is it frustrating to you? Are you concerned when you're starting a new diet plan about being hungry or not having food as that emotional crutch, or even, concerned that that diet program is going to adhere with your lifestyle? Lots of stuff to think about, lots of stuff to comment on. So as always, I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget, we begin Shake the Sugar on Sunday evening.